Brian Lehrer on WNYC. And yeah, Memorial Day weekend didn't really give us beach read weather, did it? But the sun is shining today, and all of it has launched its Summer Reading Challenge for all those adults who love tracking books all summer in their local libraries challenge. And here to explain how to participate from all the way across the hall is Jordan Lauf, producer for all of it and its book club, Get Lit with All of It. Hey, Jordan.
Hey, Brian. Thanks so much for having me.
So for people who don't know this from past years, the challenge is to read 6 books across 6 categories by the end of Labor Day weekend, 15 weeks as I counted. Is there a prize if you do it beyond bragging rights?
There is a prize. I can't announce yet what it will be, but yes, if you manage to finish all 6 books by Labor Day weekend, we'll be sending you a little treat of some kind in the mail.
All right, so I'm just going to go down the 6 categories so our listeners know what they are, because it's so much fun to kind of divvy it up this way, and then, you'll give some suggestions, but also people can go exploring for just the right book for them on their own. But the categories are a book published in 2026, a book about United States history or American historical fiction. 3, a book set in or written by an author from one of the 48 countries participating in the World Cup. 4, a classic, that's pretty broad. 5, a work of genre fiction in a number of categories that I'll let you go over. And category 6, a book about or set in New York. This is so much fun. How'd you come up with the categories?
Yeah, a couple of them are categories we've had since the beginning, like a book about or set in New York. Pretty straightforward for us here in New York Public Radio. Let's celebrate our city with some summer reading. But a few of the new ones are, especially because of the special events happening this summer, we wanted to lean into people who might be really interested in diving into U.S. history in honor of the 250th. Of course, that's the big July 4th anniversary happening this summer. And our city and our country is hosting the World Cup. That does not happen very often. So we also wanted to lean into the fact that people from all over the world are going to be coming here to watch some great soccer and sort of embrace that international flavor of the summer and encourage people to maybe get outside their comfort zone and travel via literature to one of these 48 countries. And if you're concerned about that category and you want to look at a list, we've got a list conveniently linked on the page where you could also sign up for the Summer Reading Challenge. That's at wnyc.org/Summer Reading Challenge.
And we'll go through some of the suggestions on your lists, but we can crowdsource this too. So listeners, do you have any suggestions for your fellow listeners who may be intrigued by this idea of this reading challenge with a book piece from these 6 categories and want to put one out there that maybe they might consider? Again, the categories: a new book published this year, a book about U.S. history, can be fact or fiction, a book set in one of the World Cup countries, a classic, a piece of genre fiction, or a book about New York. Who has one? 212-433-WNYC, 212-433-9692. You can share or you can text. You can call or you can text in order to share your book suggestion, 212-433-9692. And Jordan, just to be clear, you do have to read 1 book per category, right? You can't read 6 in your favorite category?
No, unfortunately not. And you also can't double count. So if a book might count as a book published in 2026 and it's also a book about or set in New York, sorry, you have to pick which category you want to count it for. So it's 6 books in 3 months, but I believe in all of the listeners. I know you all can do it.
Oh, you can't read just 5 books and count 1 in 2 categories.
No, you
that
cannot.
Would be cheating.
No.
The work of genre fiction. What categories do you count as genre fiction?
Yep. So in this category, you can count a number of things. Here are the genres we've outlined: fantasy, science fiction, romance, horror, and mystery or thriller. We've just noticed that people are really excited by genre fiction these days. Of course, romance is really taking off. Romantasy is such a hot topic right now. There's a new horror bookstore, I think, in Williamsburg that opened up recently. So people are really leaning into genre. So we wanted to make that a part of our challenge this year as well. And again, you pick 1 book in one of those categories to count for the genre fiction category. You don't have to read fantasy, science fiction, romance, and horror. You could take your pick.
All right. Now, in the category of books that have come out in 2026, you all at all of it would be much more on top of it than the average bear, because this is what you do. Part of what you do, you have the authors of new books on all the time, and I hear you have a suggestion that doubles as a promo for an event tonight. Ha! What is it?
Yes. Ghost Town by Tom Perrotta. People might know him as the author of The Leftovers or Election, both of which are novels turned into popular movies and TV series. This new one is about a young kid named Jimmy Perini. He's just graduated 8th grade. He's growing up in New Jersey in the 70s, and his mom has tragically passed away. And in the summer of sort of coping with his grief, Jimmy finds himself torn between this teenager who's sort of roving around New Jersey in his car and might not be such a great influence, and another older girl who really wants Jimmy to use a Ouija board to try to contact his mom. So that book is Ghost Town by Tom Perrotta, and yes, that is our May Get Lit selection. Our event is happening tonight at the Stavros Niarchos Foundation Library. Tom Perrotta, the author, will be there, as well as musical guest They Might Be Giants. And this is a special thing we're offering just for Brian Lair and all of it listeners. The library has just released some day of tickets. This event has been sold out for a couple weeks, but they've just released a new batch of free tickets. If you want to find out more about that, you can go to wnyc.org/getlit. And doors open at 5:30. Seats are first come, first serve.
Where's that library again?
It's the Stavros Niarchos Foundation Library. It's like a kitty corner from the main branch.
And They Might Be Giants. Good to play.
Very, very exciting, yes. Free mini concert for anyone who manages to come get a seat. We hope we'll see you there.
And for U.S. history, there are a lot of new books. We've been sorting through all the authors, who've been pitching us. Hey, I have a book relevant to the 250th anniversary. Can I come on your show? And we can't do all of them, but there are so many out there. What strikes me about the category, as you establish it, is that it can be an actual history book or it can be fiction. It can be historical fiction.
Yes, exactly. I wanted to lean into the fact that some people don't love to read history, but still want to get a sense of our nation's past. And fiction can be a really good way to do that. One of my recommendations for that category is a novel called The Known World by Edward P. Jones. It came out a little while ago, I think the early 2000s. It's a novel set on a plantation and deals with slavery and enslavement. But the person who is in charge of this plantation and has all of these enslaved people on his property is actually a black man who it comes to inherit this property. So it's a really a book that deals with really thorny issues of our nation's past and introduces you to a whole cast of characters and a little slice of history I knew very little about. That is The Known World by Edward P. Jones. It's fiction, historical fiction, and it's really excellent and would count in that category.
Here's a text from a listener who looks like it's really taking on the challenge. Listener writes, books I have and am planning to read that qualify: Beloved by Toni Morrison in the U.S. History category, The City We Became for the New York City category, Pachinko for the World Cup, and A Farewell to Arms as a classic. That's a great start. They get it, right?
I love it. Our listeners really do their homework. I love to see how quickly people have embraced the categories. It makes me so happy, especially because they were a little specific this year. We got a little creative with the special events happening. So I'm so glad to hear people embracing all the categories.
And you write that a book that would qualify. You're right. You told us that a book that would qualify for science fiction happens to be the New York Public Library's big summer book club selection, The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin.
Yes. So our friends at the New York Public Library are doing this really special book club event that is happening at the Delacorte Theater on August 17th. Our host, all of it host Allison Stewart, will be a part of that special event. And so the library is encouraging people to read N.K. Jemisin's The City We Became all summer long. That is a science fiction book in which there is a dark force sort of attacking New York, and regular New Yorkers sort of become avatars or superheroes that represent each borough. So there's a Staten Island avatar, there's a Brooklyn one, there's a Bronx one, all of the boroughs. and they have to come together to fight this dark force. And N.K. Jemisin will be at the Delacorte Theater on August 17th, and the library is offering unlimited free e-copies, much like they do for Get Lit, for anyone who wants to read along this summer. So if you pick that in one of the categories, you can get your free e-copy and read right away.
Yeah, she was on this show when she won the MacArthur Genius Award when that book came out in 2020. Let's see, another couple here. My recommendation for history is How the South Won the Civil War by Heather Cox Richardson. Another one asked, does a tree grows in Brooklyn qualify as a classic? I would say yes, that qualifies as either a classic or a New York book, right?
It does.
And another oldie but goodie for New York City or historical fiction, Time and Again by Jack Finney. All right. We're out of time, except for you to remind folks one more time how to participate in All of It's Summer Reading Challenge.
Yes, you can go sign up right now at wnyc.org/summer reading challenge, wnyc.org/summer reading challenge. We hope you will join us this summer.
All of It producer Jordan Lauf, producer also for their Get Lit with All of It book club. Good luck tonight. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks so much, Brian.
WNYC's journalism and storytelling is heard by millions of passionate listeners. Sponsors of our programming gain our listeners' attention and their respect. Learn about how your organization can support WNYC and WNYC Studios at sponsorship.wnyc.org.